First is Kenny's story about get the knife, Jack.
Was that not true?
Yes, it was true. However, there were some things that were left out. Okay. Number one is Mom never could get the car into gear. She'd always put it into reverse or first when it was supposed to go somewhere else. So we were always in trouble, you know, like parked
Was
at a
this
stop
a
sign.
stick shift?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah. And so if we were at a stop sign or something like that, so, you know, like at a stop sign, she'd put it reverse and back into the other guy, or he'd back up, you know, and he'd yell at her, and she had always had her comment, you know, oh, shut up. That was her comment. And it was her big comeback for everybody, so, oh, shut up. So she never could handle the camper. Well, we were traveling all over the place. You know, we would go hundreds and hundreds of miles, and one would sleep and the other one would drive. So we were in Oregon when this particular incident happened. We were coming back because I'd always come back on every opportunity. You know, I'm out there and, you know, months. So Thanksgiving, I want to come back and see the family. I don't care if it's only, I've got 3 days off. We'll drive for a whole day to get back, spend a day with the family and drive because we take turns sleeping. And we're coming back from Oregon, and we're about a day and a half into it. And I have this growth of beard and this weird 30s type hat on my head, and I'm sleeping in the back, and Mom's driving. She would drive forever, just drive forever. And we're going through Wyoming, and we're just about out of gas. And we come to some place in the middle of nowhere, and we're right on empty, and she pulls up, and I'm half asleep, you know, and of course Kenny told you about the knife, because we'd lost the key, so we had this broken off dagger. It was actually a dagger. And it wasn't a steak knife or whatever he said it was. You know.
Is it a big knife?
Yeah, it was about that big, and the end was busted off, so we'd use that to get into the gas tank. So I'm laying in the back, and I'm sleeping, and I hear the camper stops, and I hear, you know, Mom, so we went to fill up the gas of this guy. I heard some kids, some noise, you know, are you fuck guys cussing away, and he said, I'm closing up this goddamn place, and I'm quitting tomorrow. And Mom said, we need some gas. So lady, I'm closing up, I'm not selling any gas. She said, I don't care, we need some gas. And he says, lady, I'm not selling any gas, I'm closing up, I'm done. And she said, get the knife, Jack. So that's when I came out of the side of this camper. Well, he's standing there looking scared as hell. And I've got the knife. And I don't know what's going on. You know, all I know is, hey, we're going to get some gas. I got the knife. He's standing there, and he's got the nozzle, and is shooting gas out onto the floor. And I said, you got to back up a little, Mom. And she takes off. Takes off down the road in first gear because she can't get it into reverse. So that's story number one. This is the Caravel caper, right? It was in Oklahoma, and I'd finish a day of this stuff where you just constantly trying to get into this. I don't know how these guys with all the equipment, you know, I had the guitar. You know, I mean, I don't know how other people did it. They worked you so hard. I mean, they would kill you. I mean, you 5 schools in a day, whatever you can do, and you get there, and you get there. So I remember this one night we went into some place in Oklahoma, and I lay down, and we had a little portable TV, and I remember seeing this thing about Caravel candy bars. And I lay down in the bed, and I said, geez, you know, I'd really like a Caravel candy bar. Would you get me one? so, you know, a Caravel. Yeah, I said Caravel. It's a new candy bar they got. You know, so I'm laying on the bed. So Mom says, "You're going to get in the camper and get me a Caravel candy bar at the grocery store." Well, she got on the. We were in Oklahoma City, and there's Tulsa, and there's the Oklahoma Turnpike. And she gets in this camper and gets on the Oklahoma Turnpike. Every 20 miles, 350, lady. And I'm laying there waiting for my Caravel. 10:30, 12:30. 2:30 in the morning. She couldn't turn around anyway. Paying the $3.50 everywhere. around. He came out, it was about 5 in the morning, she throws that son of a bitch in. God damn it, only time I ever heard her cuss. Here's your goddamn
And how much did it cost?
25 cents for the caramel, but it's about 35 bucks for the yeah. Okay, blow it in the wind. Yeah. Okay, blow it in the wind. This is the classic
magic string story.
Well, I'd always play tricks on her. She was such a sweetheart, and of course my son says that it's true, you know. I remember the time I told her that she was cutting her toenails, and I said, "Why don't you save those?" She said, "Why?" I said, "Well, they're building a factory outside here in Fremont. They're making ping pong balls out of those toenails." I didn't think anything more about it, right? You know. About a year later, I came back there, this jar. Big, thick toenail. They would have made a lousy ping pong ball. And she had had frostbite when she was a kid, you know, she had these big, thick toes. She had to use a buzzsaw to get through them. But she had these. Anyway.
Why was that called blowing in the wind?
No, I was
He got off on a
digressing.
different one. Oh, okay.
A sociopath.
That's a good one. Though.
Yeah, so yeah, it was, and
You could call that one the jar of nails.
yeah, and I remember one time too that she was cussing about it was a truck or something stopped, and she almost ran into him, and I said, "Mom," I said, that it cost them $20 every time they put on those air brakes. I said, "You gotta stay back." She never was within 5 miles of a truck. You know, going down Bell Street, you know, there's a truck, you know, she stops and waits. Down the military, and she's on First Street, and then, okay, blowing in the wind. Well, that was just the time that I had to take a leak.
Oh,
And
okay.
the wind was blowing hard. So she goes out to stretch her legs, and I'm the back. Yeah, for it. All I remember is it said, "Jack, it's raining." Now the Cumberland Quandary, that was a good one, because I wore this red jacket, and I had a red cummerbund that I used to wear, trying to be fancy in my early days. And so Mom always carried this little portable ironing board and an iron. And so we'd stop at the station, she'd sneak out the side of the camper, get in there into the bathroom, plug that iron in, iron this cummerbund, because it always was getting wrinkled. So we pulled into this station in Nevada someplace, and I didn't think a lot about it. I just pulled in to get gas, and she was in the back, got the gas, and took off. About 5 hours later, I said, "What's for supper?" No answer. I said, "I think cream tuna would be good tonight." Nothing. And I looked in the rearview mirror, and I didn't see anything, you know, and I looked in the back, and there's nobody there. Somewhere back in these 40 or 50 towns we'd passed through, and I didn't see my gas receipt anywhere. I was Mom with a cummerbund and an iron, and a little portable ironing board. So I started back, and after about 100 miles or so, I started checking every town. You know, I did, well, is there a lady here with an iron? No. And I went through town after town after town after town until I found her. You know, so that was the.
And what was she doing when you found her?
Cussing.
So is the
Second
third
time, yeah, she said, "God damn," because she, very patiently just standing with her ironing board, her iron, and her cummerbund over her shoulder.
That sucker was pressed good.
Yeah. Now this next one is really a classic because this really tells you a lot about mom. Anything for her son, and I mean I really mean that, anything for her son. I swear to God, if I said you go out and kill this guy, she'd have probably done it. And we always wanted it, like I said, we always wanted to come home. I mean, we were out, hell and gone, and in the first few years, like I said, I used to just sleep in the camper. I was trying to save money to send home, which isn't particularly noble. I had a responsibility. I better send the bucks home, But we would stay in a motel. First, I went out by myself, and then she got tired of Dad bitching around, so she wanted to go with me. But stayed in a motel about once a week. We'd do sponge baths, and that's just. What's that?
Children.
Oh, okay, they're all right. Good. Anyway.
As if they're screaming or laughing.
You can pause there.
No, it's okay.
Very seldom stay in a motel, and if we had an opportunity to come home, we'd do it. So I'm playing in Oklahoma and working for this outfit out of North Hollywood, and you want to do all their shows for them. I mean, they don't like it if you miss a show or something like that. So we motor home. We have a chance to get home, and we shoot home over some weekend because we have a chance to stay home like for a day and then head back, because we could always take turns driving and just get there. We just shoot straight there. So we headed home this one weekend, and it was really confusing around Salina, Kansas. They had what they call a bypass 81 and all these highways, and so we came home and stayed with you guys and started back. So I told her, I said, when you get to Salina, Kansas, wake me up. It's very confusing when you get to Salina, Kansas. So we're going to Oklahoma, right? Monday morning. Got a show at 8:30 in the morning at some high school. So at about 6 in the morning, I hear, "Jack." "Yeah." "Are we supposed to be anywhere near Denver?" She'd gone all the way across Kansas. We're looking at Denver, 81 miles or something. So I call, I've got to call these people in Oklahoma. I can't be there. 3,000 kids or whatever, they all this big school waiting, going to have the newest sensation in folk music, how they bill you up there. Going to play or seeing these kids waiting, chance to get out of class, nobody, right? Plus the other 4 programs, and no way we're going to get there. So we live back and over in the other side of Kansas and get for our next day. The upshot, this whole thing is the next week, we got another opportunity. Get home for a day, get back, okay? So we go back, spend the day, get in that camper, head back. When we got to Salina, Kansas, you know what's going to happen, right? Her son is sleeping.
Uh-huh.
She doesn't want to wake Jack. She doesn't want to wake her son, 5 in the morning. Jack. I said, what? She said, classic line. I hate to tell you. And I saw that big sign, dude. She's done the same damn thing the second week in a row. We're clear across Kansas.
Was this your second chance at the same school?
No. They had already probably dropped the whole
I
damn
didn't
program.
know she did that twice in a row.
Yes, 2 weeks in a row. I mean, that's what's unbelievable. The first week, okay, second week, we're clear the hell across Kansas again. She drives all night. My son is sleeping. I will drive this car. I had to call these guys. I had to call Hollywood. I said, God, my motor blew up this time. I didn't know what the hell to tell them. Lost all 4 tires. My transmission. I didn't know what the hell to say. They lost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and I'm so close to losing my job. But to my credit, I did not chew her out. Really, I said, Mom. Oklahoma's. That's all I can say. But she did it out of love. She couldn't wake her son up, and that'll tell you more about my mom than anything else I can ever say. She didn't want to wake her son up, even if he begged. I begged her. I said, Mom, just get the Salina, wake me up. I want to get us. Because this weird bypass and all this crap, and.
Didn't she see a sign for Salina?
Ask my mom. There's no way. There's no reasoning here. We're not talking logic.
Right.
We're not. We're talking about supreme caring, and I don't know what else to say about it. I heard that, Jack. But I saw the sign, and the same damn sign I'd seen, exactly the same sign, Denver 81 or something like that. And finally, the Italian Swiss crab.
I don't think I've heard this one.
Well, this is a good one. Angie heard this one.
Yeah.
Oh, pause.
Might put a smile on your face.
So we're going into Southern California. Morning hecklers. And we go by this, it had a sign that said Italian Swiss Colony free wine tasting. And I don't know if you remember, they had the commercial with a little old winemaker before your time, I guess, but they had a commercial about this Italian Swiss Colony wine, and they had the little old winemaker, and he would talk about the wine. Well, they had the little guy there. And free wine tasting, okay? Now, Mom was getting ready, and I said, well, I'd like cracked crab for lunch, Mom, because she would cook, she'd cook with this little stove we had, camp stove in the camp. So I said, okay, we'll stop, and I'm gonna, you can start the crab, and I'm gonna taste some wine. So, by God, you could taste all the wine you wanted there. They had different kinds of wine, sherries, and rosés, and all this stuff. So I'm in there and just putting this wine away like it's going out of style. And Mom's out starting the crab in the back of the camper. So I get back in the camper, and I'm not feeling a bit of pain. And I started driving. There was nobody on the roads. So I'm saying, well, shoot, let's see what this baby can do. Now, it was a Volkswagen camper, so it couldn't do much speeding, you're not going to go very fast. But I thought, let's see how long it can stay in this lane without me putting my hands
Autopilot.
on the wheel, There's nobody on the road, so she's cooking the crab back there. So I just let go of the wheel, and maybe, and I'm timing this, it's 30 seconds, 40, whoop, yeah, I gotta grab the wheel. So we go a little further, trying to get it, wind's a little less now. 40 seconds, whoa, grab the wheel. I'm just doing this for about 40, 50 miles, just having a good time. She's cooking the crab in the back. And so finally I got kind of bored with this exercise. I haven't seen a car in probably 100 miles now. And okay, well, yeah, the crab's ready. Okay, so I stop the camper and get out, and she gets up front and starts driving, and I'm sitting back eating the cracked crab that she made. Patrolman and Mom's driving. I'm still eating the crap in the wines. And a cop comes up. You ain't been drinking much lately, lady. And I went under the name Jack Norman, right? I didn't like Prohaska. She said, no, I'm Jack Norman's mother. The cop says, uh-huh. Yeah, I'm Jack Norman's mother. Well, that's okay, lady. I just kept eating the crap. And she said, or he said, I don't know who says, it's pretty windy out here, it's okay. And she but again, it was so typical. I'm Jack Norman's mother, you know. I mean, that was her whole life. You know? And I told Brad many stories about Mom. Now, Brad was a new guy in the group and really very talented individual. Great singer, great guitar player, and he was fitting in. He didn't fit in like Jay did because of comedy. He just, you know. But I told him all these stories about Mom. And I said, you know, I told him all this stuff. So when Mom and Dad came into the safari where we were playing, they came walking in and there was a step and Mom walked over and fell on her face and Brad said, Jack's mom!
Who said that?
Brad.
Oh.
Yeah, just from the stories. And she fell on her face and he went out and he shook hands with her. Nobody had said a word. Yeah, which is what Kenny missed, see. You know,
Okay.
you know, I'm standing there, you know, but he said, that's got to be Jack's mom. And he went out and shook hands with her. And the next week she came back in and they were walking in and I said, Mom, watch out for the steps. She looked up and went down on her face. But yeah, she was putz like her son. Just perfect, you know.
Why do I remember supper times? Early evenings I'd come in from play and you were there. It seems you were always there. This day, as I think back, my heart fills with a gratitude I'll never be able to tell you of. You gave your youth to me. Your love was without question or condition. I remember used toys at Christmas. You'd gotten them somewhere and painted them. I wish I'd kept just one to look at now. I didn't know. I didn't know your sacrifice. The love you simply gave without thinking. The food you didn't eat so I could. I never dreamed you'd grow old. We played fox and geese at twilight. Our tracks in the snow lasted for weeks that winter. You were my friend. And I must have thought you'd always be as you were then. I remember you came to hear me sing at school. You never dressed in fashion like the other mothers. I didn't know I should have been proud. I didn't know it was because of me you wore the hand-me-downs, that old hat I used to laugh at. If I could but move time backwards, I'd shout to the room, that's my mother, there in the old hat. She gave me music. She gave me friendship. She gave me loyalty. And she gave me love. Why must we so often wait until it's too late? What makes us perversely pursue the frivolous and leave wanting that which matters? I let you grow old and never really told you, never showed you what you meant. In another life, let me be your parent. Let me love and give as you have. I'll wear the old hats and paint the toys. I owe you.